children of the earth, why are you here? You're an immortal soul, here to carry on your vision and purpose in this life. Thank you, my source, for the creative presence here. Woo! Why are you here is the question that we ought to discuss here today. Are you an immortal soul here to live out your purpose and vision in this incarnation of your lifetime? Well, you may first ask this question: what is the significance of immortality? Immortality in itself is just having eternal life. Now, let's expound on this a little bit further. What does it mean to have eternal life? You see, if we delve forward into Buddhist teachings, Buddha taught that we as souls usually reincarnate time and time again to learn our karmic lessons. And we, of course, are being taken after the stage of death into the underworld, where we get to reincarnate forth to live our dharmic life cycle so that we could eliminate reincarnation and, of course, have eternal life after the stage of our great shift and resurrection. Does this all sound familiar to you? Of course. This wholeheartedly depicts the stories of our dearest Jesus Christ, the Son of our Creator source, who birthed forth in his incarnation to teach us the principles of wholesome love and divine Christ consciousness. So what is the purpose of your immortal life? Why have you chosen to reincarnate in this life? Oh, the great topic of immortality has scratched many scientific heads based on the notions presented to us. Are we indeed immortal souls? Well, based on our societal teachings, we have been presented in this human experience with the limitations of concepts that tells us that we, of course, are mortal souls. Now, breaking it down further, meaning that once we die, that's of course it, based on the religious texts and principles that have been presented to us. But as we begin to awaken during this great shift, this age of Aquarius, the golden age of knowing, we begin to see that we, of course, have been presented with many different lifetimes, and for many of us, this is not our first incarnation here. So as you begin to think of this, you begin to ask the question, am I indeed an immortal soul? So we can, of course, go back to our great historical times, in ancient times, during, of course, we could even go back to, ancient Egyptian times. So based on this ancient times, the people in this era often were so connected with source and had divine consciousness that they, of course, knew that this great shift into the death stage was the pathway to becoming one with the immortal soul. And so death was as much important to them as life here on earth. You see, during these times, these ancient Egyptians, you may call them gods, goddesses, everyday people during this lifetime. They went through a process of mummification where they pretty much wrapped up this body in this certain cloth and, put it in a tomb so that it could be stored and presented with all certain, artifacts for the afterlife to prepare their soul even for their next reincarnation if they have to come back in this life. So the significance of this topic is to pretty much enlighten you further on why have you chosen this life. And you see, this is a great shift from the Piscean era, an age where we had to go through so much pain and suffering after the symbolic death and resurrection of our dearest Jesus Christ. And so we as immortal oversouls knew that this was a very pivotal time, that we do not just die in our state of consciousness after death. We in fact get to come back and experience this human life cycle to go forth and learn our karmic lessons, to go forth into our dharmic cycles, and of course to help bring forth the teachings into going forth into this great age of Aquarius, the age of abundance, the age where collectively we all come back together as one, and most of them come back together with Source. You see, we have been living in these eras and eons of times through great divide and separation. And so our immortal souls have called us back here during this lifetime to tell us that, wow, we are such universal creatures here on earth, that we have in fact chosen this lifetime to bring forth new life of oneness and wholesomeness during this lifetime. So go forth and live a wholesome, eternal, immortal life, my dearest, beautiful souls. You are in fact and indeed immortal.